So here today we're going to look at the main menus in Microsoft Word. This is the very first lesson that we are having on Microsoft Word, and we're just going to look at some of the common menus and the menu contents, and then we will later come back to each menu and look at the specific content and how we can use them and how you can apply them when you're creating text documents, because that is the main thing that Microsoft Word is used for, creation of text documents. So there are quite a number of menus in Microsoft Word. You can see we have home, insert, design, layout, references, mailings, review, view help, Grammarly and all that. So this Grammarly is an extra menu that is just an extension that I installed to my Microsoft Office Word. So it's normally not available. It normally doesn't appear in the menu section unless you install it. So we are going to begin with the home menu. Remember that the file menu, you only click on it when you want to save or you want to do something that does not involve editing your document. So if I click on file now, what you'll see here is that I'll be taken to this section where if I want to create a new document, I want to open an already saved file that I'd created before, or maybe one that I downloaded from somewhere. Maybe I want to go to file info. So this is saving, printing, sharing, exporting. So this is just a part where you're not editing your document, but you're just trying to do a few setups of saving or opening or creating a new document. So if I go back to that now, my first main menu is the home menu. So in the home menu is generally where you edit the text on your page, and there are quite a number of things that you can do from the home menu. So I'm just going to type one line of text, and then I'll just say let me just say Microsoft Word. Then we are going to use this to go through the menus in the home section very fast. So once I'm here, first of all I'll have to select this text, because I cannot apply any sort of formatting without selecting the text on this page. So once I've selected this text like I have done, and I'll go to this section. One thing you should note is that when this text is not selected, the cut and the copy options that are under the home menu here, the very first section in the clipboard, are not highlighted. I mean, they are not active. They're somehow grayish. It means they're not active. But once I select this, they become active. It means the functionalities can now be used. So cutting and pasting is the first thing that we have here, is just used to move your text from maybe one position to the other or one page to the other. So if I click on cut, this text completely disappears. So I'll just undo that. But then before even I do the undoing, so if I click on cut, I can move this text some elsewhere. If I click on this section, then click on paste the text will appear in the very position that I have selected. So cutting moves the text as a whole from one position to the other. So I'll undo that. Then if I click on copy, the text will remain in its original position, but I can create a replica of this. I can have many copies of this. Even if I press enter right now and say paste, then press enter, paste again, so I can paste it several times. So that is under the clipboard section of the home menu. So format painter is if you really want to edit your text to a much more complex level. So the next thing under the home menu is we have the font section. So this font section is just where you play around with the text sizing and styles. So I have different font styles. Font styles are just like a different text appearance. Like we have different handwritings if we're using a pen. So the same way we have different handwritings, the fonts are also different. So the first thing that I can see here is the Calibri body. And before we even do this, remember we said we cannot apply any formatting functionality without selecting the text. So once I've selected that, I'll go to this section here, click on the arrow next to it. So the font that is currently being used is the one that appears in that box. When I click on this arrow, I have multiple options of fonts here. So I'm the one to choose the kind of font that I want to use. If I want to use that, then that's the one that I use. Next to the font style is the font size, where I can dictate or determine the size of text that I need to use. So I'll just click on the arrow once again and scroll down, or alternatively I can type if I have a specific font type that I'm not seeing there. Like you can see I only have even numbers here, from 12, 14, 16, 18. So if I want a font size like 25, it does not appear here. So I just type in that section, like I have highlighted that, and then I'll type font 25. When I press enter, then that is the font that is going to appear in that section. So font style, font size. Below the font style and font size, we have this font text formatting functionalities, like making your text bold or appear thicker. If I click on that, you see there is a slight change. If I remove it, it becomes less darker than it was, bold. Then next bold, I have the italics that will slightly bend your text. So I have that. Then I have the underline functionality. We'll at some point look at the keyboard shortcuts for this, so you don't always have to click on this section. So we have bolden, we have italics, and then we have underline text. So as we go, we have the strike through, where you can put lines across your text. That's easy. Maybe you want to cancel it within the block of text. You want to show that a certain portion has been cancelled, or you want to put some emphasis on it. And then we have the super and subscript. Now this is used maybe if you want to raise numbers to powers, or maybe put a base. So if I write a number like 85, type 85 in that. So if I want this 5 to be a base, I'll select it and then click on that subscript, so it will appear as a base. But if I don't want it to be as a base, or maybe I want it to be as a power, raised to power, I'll click on the superscript and it will appear at the top. So that's just another functionality under the home menu, and the text editing functionality. The next thing after this, as we go, this is also just for raising font size, increasing and decreasing. So if I select this first line, for instance, and click on this, it will increase. If I click on this, it will decrease. So that is increasing and decreasing font size. And we have text effects. I want this text to have a certain style. I don't want to use plain text, but I want it to appear in a certain attractive way. So I'll just choose one of these, or maybe just opt to change the outline color, or maybe put a shadow. Like you can see, if I put a shadow on this, you see the shadow appears. It's a bit dim, but it can be seen. So that is shadow, and this is highlighting text. You want to show some emphasis on a certain section of your text. You click on this to highlight it. That is a highlighting. So the highlighting, you can see even when you hover your mouse over it, you'll be given the color examples and the text highlighting explanation there. Then above the text highlighting, I have the upper and lower case, the changing case. If I want it to be in capital, I want to make the text maybe sentence case. That is if I have a lot of text here. So you'll play around with this. You'll see you can capitalize each word. You can use uppercase, lowercase, or toggle case. So you try this once you have your text document. Next to that, we have clear formatting. If I say clear formatting, I'll remove all the sort of formatting that I've done on that text. So I can just undo that to have the text, the formatting back. So you can remove all formatting by one click. Then I have font color. Change the color of the text here. So click on this, choose your own color. You can always go to more colors or gradient colors and explore the many options that you have back there. If we move to the paragraph section, we have the text alignment, which is simply the text position on your page. So you can move the text to the right or to the left or center. So then the default text alignment is normally left. So if I press enter, this text will move to the center of the page. Right, move to the right, and the justification just spreads it across the page. So text alignment. Then we have above it, we have the numbering functionalities, or numbering or labeling. If I want to use dots or maybe numbers in that case, so I'll do that. Then so let's just try, because we have three options here. So I'll select this, then I'll go to, if I want them to be bulleted, I'll do that or remove it. If I want them to be in number format, I'll do that. If I want multi-level numbers, then that's what I will do. Next to the text numbering and alignment section, we have this other section here where we can now work on the spacing, whether it is line spacing or text spacing. So if I move here, I have the indentation where you can move your paragraph closer or further from the margin. So this is the same on the other end of, if you are the other end of the margin on the right hand side. So if I want to move this text to this other side, so if I try that, moves the text towards that margin, but if I do this, it moves it towards this other side. See, so I'll just undo that to what I had at first. So this is what happens if you play around with that. Then you'll have the text moved from one position to the other, that is of the page. So after that, what do I have below here? This is just the line spacing. So if I want to make my text legible or maybe visible, can be easily read, I'll try to play around with the line spacing sizes here. So if you put more space, it means that the text will be spread out, the lines will be spread out over all across your page and make it more visible. If you use a less maybe size of line spacing size, and the text will be somehow compact or close together, as you can see from my page here. So if I say, for instance 3, you see the line spacing is very big. Use 1, it's reasonable. 1.5, not really bad. Now my text is in capital letters, uppercase, and it might not appear like the exact same thing. You can try both with the small and capital letters and see what you get or what it gives you from there. So this is just shading. If you have, maybe you want to shade a certain text section, so you have all the information displayed here. When you hover your mouse over it, you have that. Then you're told you can change the color behind the selected text, paragraph, or table or cell. So if you've inserted a table, you have a certain paragraph whose background you want to highlight or you want to change, you just click on the background and try to highlight it or shade it the way you want it to be. Next to that, we have the sorting. So this is where you can arrange text. Maybe if you have a list of names, or a list of names, arrange them from the alphabetical letter from A to Z, or maybe the reverse. Or you have numbers, you want to arrange them in the descending or ascending order. So this is where you use the sorting functionality, the home menu of Word. So next we have this portion here that somehow shows you can show or hide paragraphs. So this is just an editing functionality that you can opt to use or not to use. So from the information provided, you can see show paragraph marks. So it will help you identify the paragraphs within your document or something of that sort. So that's under a paragraph section. Next is we have the style section. So style section is just different text styles that you can use on your Word document. So if I click on this, remember I said no formatting feature can be applied unless your text is highlighted. So in this case, my text is highlighted. So if I hover my mouse over that, you see that the text has picked the exact same style that is I have placed my pointer on. So if I move it to the next, that's what happens. So you can choose whichever style you prefer for your text. You can click on this arrow and have maybe more options down there, and then you can apply styles, create a new style. So you have quite a number of options here. Whatever you choose to go with, that's what you do. And then just click on it. If I choose to go with this, I just click on that, then it's the one that will be applied in this section. So under styles, that's all we have. In this far end, we have just the functionality find and replace. Like if I want to find the word, I want to find a certain word within my document. I don't have so much on my page, but I can use what I have. So if I say find, and then I come here and type word, then you see that word has been highlighted within my document. So if I had like 100 pages of text within my Word document, and I needed just a specific line of word or maybe a specific text, I'll just click on the find functionality here and type the word in the section provided, and then I'll get the search results and edit it. If I wanted to edit it, maybe replace it. So yes, the same functionality. I can replace it from here after finding it, and then I can also use the find and replace, the replace functionality also right below it. So under that I have the select. So if I want to select maybe everything on my page, I want to select certain objects. So right now I don't have any objects, so these editing functionalities are very important if you are now doing the last part of editing the text on your document, or just editing your document. So those are some of the main features that I used, that you can use to edit text under the home menu of a Word window. So I said before, this Grammarly is just an extra. This is just an extension that I installed because I was doing some writing and I needed to do some editing. It is also recommended I can use that too. So that is all that we have on the main features in the home menu of Word document. I hope you find this very much helpful. Now remember that this layout appears differently because this is Microsoft Word 2019. It could be slightly different, but not that much different, because they just try to improve it and maybe add a few features, but they don't change that much. So that is just what we have today. I hope you find this helpful, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button for the next lesson, where we will look at what we have under the insert menu of a Word window. And then it is very much important because this is where you get to add things to your page more than just text and numbers. So click on the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with friends if you find it very helpful. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.